Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, excited. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. And that is MSG, the message in the message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't created, but see true.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Brownstone. Welcome to the day shift. Come on in. Let's clock out. Grab your lunch, grab your salad, whatever you're going to do. Let's go ahead and get this news and information that you can use. We're going to be covering a couple of things here for this afternoon, and then we'll be back this evening so we can break some stuff apart. But new rule. I am holding myself accountable to just doing 30 to 45 minutes during the day, and then in the evening we can go ham a little bit longer, only because I was spending a ton of time here, and I've been saying that. So, and that's not a bad thing, right? But again, I had to make it make fiscal sense. So I had to kind of reevaluate, my day, my time, my business, what I'm doing, and so forth. So if you are new here, my name is Paulette. I'm the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, the app, and the website of the same name. Right now, we are currently airing, the Sounds of the Season, and then we'll jump right into the new app, which will be airing video stream 24/7. All right. Well, in addition to sounds as well. So welcome everybody. And then of course we know Brownstone Living Magazine is currently available. If you want your copy, go over to the stories. If you are on any one of the platforms, I put it on there last night, and then this morning you'll see my cute little face with the little head wrap, whatever. And let's get into it. All right. So the first thing that we want to talk about, the woman of fabulous, a girl. I don't know about that, honey. Sometimes. Anyway, all right, so let's get into I even did a script. Me. Yes. All right, so we're going to be breaking down what's happening, why it matters, and how it's impacting everyday people like you and I. So let's see. First of all, thank you guys for joining. Hey, Haley, how are you? Golden G, good afternoon. Welcome. So let's talk about a couple of things. We're only talking about only three. Okay. First of all, let's talk about the White House address last night. All right. What he said and what holds up under scrutiny. The first thing is, hey, Samantha, good morning. How are you? So a couple things. One, the conspiracies have already started. We're going to talk about that briefly. Okay. Number one. I took a look at it last night while we were live. We just kind of looked at it together, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm ill. Please turn it off. So I went back and I looked at it a little bit later that evening, and some friends and I were evaluating, first of all, the video quality. Bah humbug, yeah. So we looked at the video quality of it, and it seemed a little interesting because he always has an orange hue to his face, but last night there was no orange hue. The other thing that I noticed, that this is just me, I noticed he looked rather thin. And not thin from a point of being ill, but he looked like healthy thin, like I've been working out, XYZ. It just looked interesting and different to me. I cannot speak for anybody else. I don't know, but it seemed a little different. And then there were certain words and things that he said that didn't match with what was coming out of his mouth. And so I thought I was crazy, but some other people kind of said that they noticed it as well. And I'm going to leave it to the people to decide for themselves. If you decide to go and take a look at it, you want my honest opinion, I think it was pre-recorded. I do. I don't think that, and they may have adjusted some things using AI, but I think it was pre-recorded. I really, really do, because and they allowed him to be himself and so forth, right? But you gotta, hey Jan, how are you? But I'm really looking at it now, this late last night, and then I kind of briefed it a little bit this morning. I was like, something's off, something's different, something. So go back and take a look at it for yourself. He looked well coiffed, which is very unusual because his hair is usually disheveled somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Even with the comb over or whatever. And I thought, something doesn't seem right. So if you want my honest opinion, this was pre-recorded. And then also it was attenuated a little bit, right? So like his image and how he looked, they cleaned him up. I think they probably used AI to do that. I'm pretty sure that it was him talking and doing the things, but some things just didn't match, right? So like some words he was saying and stuff. And I was like, okay, they're getting good at this. It wasn't 100%, but I'm sure that they utilized it when making the recording look better. And I'm almost sure he didn't do that live. There's no way. No way. And there was something else that I noticed as well. You know that he's been going off on these tangents consistently, but this last night when I looked at it again, he was boom, 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 just on target, even when they pulled up like the presentation and the graph charts and stuff. Yeah. And they cleaned up yeah, I did. Yeah. So I did hear his voice. Yes, I did. Yeah. So see, I'm not crazy. I do think that they cleaned it up. And it looked very, yeah. He never did he, Weeshock? He never ran off left field, did not, because I'm sure that I'm almost positive. Something just didn't seem right. And I was like, oh, he looked real even from the neck up. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my personal opinion. I don't know. I'm not an AI expert, but what I do know is that when it comes to AI, you can tell when it has been utilized, especially in video, because it's not quite there yet. Images are a little different, but with video, it's a little bit different because it's kind of wonky just a little bit, especially when people are moving their mouths and stuff. So you'll definitely see it was not an AI twin. I do believe that was him, but I definitely think that he had a little help last night. I do. So let's talk about what he talked about. Okay. So he defended his economic agenda. That was the first thing, right? Crediting tariffs, trade policy for strengthening manufacturing and revenue. And I find it interesting because everybody that I know that's in manufacturing is seeing a loss in jobs, especially in the area where I am now. He did some blaming as well, lingering inflation and cost pressures on the Biden administration instead of focusing on where he should have been focusing on. And that was specifically on his current administration and what they're currently doing. And here's something else that he did too, was he announced a one-time payment, dubbed it a warrior dividend of $1,776 for eligible service members. So we're talking about a couple million people, maybe 1.5 million, something like that, right? And what's interesting is he says that will come from the tariffs. I was confused, but I found the number amount to be very interesting as well. Number one, because it's the year 1776 as well. I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I absolutely did. Jan B says, ha. So I saw that and I was like, where you gonna get that money from, Sam? What we doing? You know, and number one, this is the first, I think, that any one of us have heard about it. And isn't Congress supposed to approve stuff like that? So where are they going to get the money from? Or are we going to be looking in mailboxes, especially those who are eligible service members? And what exactly does that mean? Okay, so I was just a little confused and curious about that. Like I said, I'm just here to just prepare and provide. Yep, it comes from funds that has already been approved. Well, I haven't heard anything about that, Samantha. So I'm going to have to probably dig a little bit further. I did take a look to see, and nothing has been approved for that 1776, but I'll definitely double check again. See, I thought about that too, Jan. Jan B says, "Is he trying to buy off the military?" I don't know. He gives messages to his base. Yeah, yeah. He rebranded. So ultimately, what I'm thinking is I saw somebody post this. You know how they always say, and I don't know how true this is, right? Because in my head, people are the sensationalism of posting and stuff like that. You got to be careful with, because it's, oh, he's going to announce we're going to war with Venezuela. And in my head, I thought, no, he's not. He's not going to do that. No. And especially after I saw what I did, I was like, oh, this is pre-recorded. There's no way. Nah. Yeah. So I was right on that. But I would say that he's definitely preparing for something by saying, hey, we're getting ready to give you, $1,776. Y'all go on ahead and take that, and thank you. Me and you was never part. And is that going to be taxed? Is it going to be full amount? What's going to happen with that? And I'm thinking in my head, what are you prepping people for? Because this sounds like a prep. I have learned from this current administration and from just, following this guy haphazardly throughout anything that he does, there's an agenda behind everything. Okay. And then he also claimed major progress on drug prices, wages, and overall economic stability. I'm going to just go ahead and just adjust my bangles on my wrist because I'm thinking, oh, you did? Let's fact check and do some pushback. There's always a reason behind everything. Yep. Hey, Rosemary, how are you? Depending on where you are, it's good afternoon. We're doing our lunch break, quick 30 minutes. So let's talk about a couple of things that he discussed. And now I pulled some information from Associated Press, from Reuters, Washington Post, PBS, and PolitiFact. I added that one. All right. Claims of drug prices being cut by 400 to 600% were widely criticized as mathematically inaccurate. Y'all, we already knew that. A lot of us have already seen, if you're taking any kind of meds or prescription medications, you're absolutely not seeing any. Me personally, there's one medication that I do take every day. And there was an increase. There was, and it wasn't major, but I noticed it back in, I think it was April. And then I just re-upped because I do it every 90 days. I get a 90-day supply of my meds. And I went to pick them up, and it was the exact same, but it was still higher than I normally paid. And I was paying like $7 a month, and then it quadrupled. So, I know some people, I'm sure, are like, girl, I wish all mine did was just go up an extra, $20, $21 or something. They have gone up or are being removed from insurance coverage. Yeah. So it hit quadruple. So $7, it went to like 28, something like that for mine. Yeah. So that's number one. Hey, whole time. How are you? Welcome to the day shift. Let's go ahead and check on our other people and see if we, I don't want to leave anybody out over here. Welcome and good afternoon, YouTube. So good to have you guys here with us. Come on into Brownstone. If you're new here, you are watching the day shift. We're just doing a quick rundown while you eat your lunch and get some news and information that you can absolutely use while we are eating our lunch. I ate mine already because I have a meeting at 1 o'clock. I do not want to miss. Matter of fact, I can't. It's a client. So I was like, oh, let me just go ahead and, stay true to what I said I was going to do. So let's go ahead and jump back into the research that I did. Now, drug prices, they have gone up. They've been criticized, right? These are what analysts are saying. Now, analysts also question how the proposed military payments would be funded, noting that tariff revenues cannot be freely redirected, I was right, without congressional appropriations. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. All right. So I just, and go ahead and let me know what you thought about last night. If you did get an opportunity to see last night's speech, I would encourage you to just kind of tell us, what did you think? A lot of us that were here and we were listening to it or watching it live, because I shared it on the screen on YouTube briefly. A lot of you all were like, no, I can't do it. Let me find out you can sing. I can in my past life. Yeah. It's what I did for a living for years and years and years. All right. Fact checkers found that several economic claims conflicted with current government data on prices, wages, and household costs. You heard your head? I know, right, Samantha? So it's not just me. I thought it was just me because I'm like, oh my God, today. So I was doing other things while I was listening. And then that's when I leaned in. I think it was when I first looked at the video, when it first came on, I thought, he looked different. That's when I was like, oh, they cleaned this up. Right. You can't do it either. No, ma'am. So fact checkers found that several economic claims conflicted with current government data on prices, wages, and household costs. Right. You know what? I don't know. You're talking about the Hanukkah soiree that he went to, where somebody said, I'll give you an extra $250 million if you run again. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it, Suma? I know, and I keep hearing that, Becky. Like everybody's saying, oh, I can't stand the way he sounds. So here's the bottom line. The speech reinforced campaign style messaging, but independent analysis shows a significant gap between rhetoric and verifiable data. And we saw that last night. And a lot of people were like, well, what the hell was that? What did I just watch? How could we not see that this was just, it was a tap dance. It was a word salad, basically the whole thing, right? Little carrots, little lettuce, little kale, a little drizzle of some olive oil, little vinegar, salt, pepper. Yes, it was. Jan, it really was. Because like I said, I did go back and watch it. Now, let's talk about, I'm just keeping it 100. We shot. Just say it. All right. Now, I'm trying to stay on task, y'all. Stay with me. Stay with me. Healthcare subsidies are set to expire. Let's talk about what's at stake, because we got to do this. Okay. At the end of 2025. Well, Rosemary, yes, I do. But remember now, he fired the person that really does the data and brought in his own person. So every day it's new data. Because I reported on data this morning and I was like, that ain't what I reported on Monday morning. Because I always do the numbers to watch. If you notice, whenever I do the Brownstone segment, right after you guys see the little video from Brownstone Worldwide, I always come and I do business news. Okay. Because in the middle of all of this, we're missing an opportunity to see what's really playing out in business. So you might see me talk about something about crypto or whatever. And I've dug up some information on something. I'm like, oh, this would be really good to talk about. Right. So I personally think, just from reading the data, because it's skewed every day, it's something different. It's ebbs and flows. And today, according to what I researched this morning before I posted that, the consumerism is high, but the day before it's, consumers are watching their wallets. Well, hell, can it be both? Help me understand. And in what sector? So it's not breaking it out. Are we buying more potato chips? Are we purchasing less cars? Right. So let's talk about these health insurance premiums. Okay. So at the end of 2025, Enhanced Affordable Care Act marketplace subsidies are scheduled to expire unless Congress acts. So here are the current subsidies. They are increased financial assistance for health insurance premiums. If we don't get a hold on that, and if it's not voted on, which Speaker Mike Johnson said he ain't doing it, he ain't going. He said he's not doing it. I don't care what y'all say, XYZ, your premium is going to go up. So it might be $200 this month, child. Next month, it might be $2,000. So eliminating the so-called subsidy cliff for middle-income families, that's getting ready to go away. And helping millions afford coverage over the past several years through the Affordable Care Act. Now, if they expire, which is going to happen, exactly, we shop, many people are going to see higher monthly premiums in 2026. You're going to get your little bill and you're going to be like, what the what? So if you have it on auto pay, take it off. Take it off, because you're probably better off, and I hate to say this, you're probably better off finding a pay per service kind of office. There are several doctors' offices here in Atlanta that are like that I'm aware of, not far from where I am now. And some households, especially middle income families, could lose eligibility for assistance altogether. If you have, unless of course you have zero income, then of course that's Medicaid. But we're talking about people are getting ready to lose any kind of support. Exactly, Jambi, correct. Now, analysts are also warning this could lead to coverage losses nationwide. Absolutely. That's exactly what's going to happen. Yep. So I was like, well, what do you do? Well, number one, take a look at your plan, which I did last night before I went on live. I was like, let me take a look and see. And remember, I came on here. It's actually a video of me talking about how much mine is going to go up. Now, let's see what happens with this being removed completely, what I will see. Okay. Essential potential premium increases for 2026, you're absolutely going to see. And I don't even know about contacting our elected officials, because I don't care what anybody say on the left or the right. It's all a hot mess. It's a congressional decision. And the hard part it's the hard part. And then the good part is that 2026 is around the corner. Yeah. And we need to start making decisions on who's going to replace the mess on both sides that's in here. Because if you have not paid attention to what's happening, these people are deciding whether people are going to eat, who's staying in this country, because you haven't done anything about what this current administration is doing. You haven't put your foot down. And if I'm not mistaken, the branches of government that are there are designed as checks and balances, and ain't nobody checking and ain't nobody balancing nothing. Everybody is just letting stuff just carry on. Like the old folks say, you just carrying on. What are we doing? So there's that. Okay. And lastly, we got to talk about the White House photos. Okay. Hey, Cinderella and Zeus, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the day shift, y'all. I think I'm doing okay. I got 12 minutes. Okay, 12 minutes. That's what I've been saying. Who's going to hold? Nobody's holding him accountable. He knew what the hell he wanted. And we talked about this, Samantha. I don't know if you were here last night or not, but the song sings in my head from back in the day. I would listen to my parents and they would play a song. I'm your puppet. Somebody pulling some strings. That's what I've been saying. Who's going to hold him accountable? Good day. Yes, you are absolutely correct. Hey, Yorkie, how are you? So let's talk about some images that came up. White House released and displayed new photographs of previous U.S. presidents widely distributed by the Associated Press and other major news outlets. Okay. And I know you all have seen them. And the images show portraits accompanied by newly installed plaques. Have y'all seen this mess? Let me see if I can find it. What some of them say. Because I was like, this dude is off the chain. Oh my God, today. He's taken the images of previous presidents and it's called the Presidential Walk of Fame. Okay. And under each one of the president's names, he's installed his thoughts on them. Hey, Mark Fletcher, how are you? All right. So it's kind of weird a little bit. So the plaque addresses Trump's criticism of Biden's use of an auto pen and claimed that Biden issued pardons to radical Democrat criminals and thugs. He's got, at one of the very end, one of the plaques actually says, but despite it all, President Trump would get reelected in a landslide and save America. So he's making changes to the Presidential Walk of Fame on the colonnade of the White House. And new photos of the walkway lined with portraits of past presidents show new plaques added underneath the portraits of former presidents Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Barack Hussein Obama was the first Black president, a community organizer, one-term senator from Illinois, and one of the most divisive political figures in American history. The text on the plaque, which includes many falsehoods and claims rooted in vitriol underneath Obama's photo, begins. The Democrats served 2 consecutive terms in the White House from January 2009 until 2017. Biden, 83, served as Obama's vice president in both terms before serving as president from January 2021 until 2025, with Kamala Harris as his vice president. And Obama's plaque also claims that the politician passed the highly ineffective Unaffordable Care Act, resulting in his party losing control. Yeah, we do, Rosemary. Let him be. Let him be. We got stuff to do. They can stay or go. If it's a bot, let it be. If not, maybe they'll learn something instead of staying in their feelings. We talked about this last night as well, right? Let me tell you why I want them to stay. Because right now, whether it's a real person or not, here's what we need to also understand. And we talked about this briefly. We got a bigger fish that needs to be fried. And it ain't just him. The fact is, he's been brought in to keep us divided. We talked about this yesterday with the authoritarian stack. So if people come in here and they're one-sided one way, we all know that here, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you voted for. You need information that you can do something with and still make decisions for yourself. Yep, that's all it is, trying to distract us. Thank you, Ladybug. I appreciate you for saying that because it's the truth. We can't afford to be distracted at this point. They want us at each other's necks. You see what I mean? And after what we talked about last night, and with the authoritarian stacks and how your tax dollars are being funneled through the government to pay these major private corporations to handle government business, we are watching complete privatization of our government entities in our face. He's a front. They needed him in position. And we need to be working to get people in position to reverse some of what has occurred. It'll never be the same. But somebody's got to get in office with a broom, a mop, some bleach, some Pine Sol, and a bunch of other stuff and right some wrongs. We have to figure out this immigration issue yesterday. It's too much. We're watching people be hurt and maimed and return to places they don't know anything about through DACA. There is currently right now a United States citizen who has been detained. Her attorney is frantic, begging them not to move her to another state, and they've already done it. They have proven she is a U.S. citizen, and they moved her to Louisiana anyway. We have to get this under control because, like I said last night, one of the issues is we're talking about bounty hunters, modern day bounty hunters, getting paid for each body that they bring in. So they don't care if you're a U.S. citizen or not. You're just getting picked up. Now she can't find her client, who is a U.S. citizen, who was born here, has birth certificates. The hospital verified that she was born here. This is insanity. We do not have time to entertain the bots. Let them come in here and tap dance if they want to. It's going to be an absolute mess to clean this up. But I say it once and I say it again with my 6 minutes left on the clock. Whatever begins, ends. Change is the only constant. Yes? And since we know that, we also know that the power of the collective consciousness that can never be denied and is continuing to accelerate and expand and grow will cause the change that we will see. And we know how that usually works, right? When we are asking for change, we get a whole lot of mess first, don't we? Yep, we do. And then it calms down. So everybody that comes in here, you are more than welcome to be here. I don't care who you are, who you voted for, what you believe. If you racist or not, it makes me no never mind. You live in this country, you pay taxes just like I do, like everyone here. But you need to know the truth, and then you can make a decision either way. If you believe that this is the way that it should be, by all means. But like I said, the power of the collective consciousness can never be denied. And more every single day, I am seeing people who are opening their eyes. This is bigger than what we see on the physical. This was necessary. How many of you all know I say that all the time? I mean that with every fiber of my being. This was necessary. If Kamala had gotten it, we would be dead asleep. That's it. We would be asleep, and we would be excited, and we would be thinking that everything is okay, and we wouldn't be paying attention. But guess what? Because she did not get in office, so many of us that would not have been paying attention to politics, and those people that are in office right now, you paying attention to the people that got voted in this time, aren't you? You're going to make better decisions next time, aren't you? And that's the beauty of what is happening. So many people that would not have ever participated in any voting, in any politics, locally or whatever. It has impacted us in such a way that we are wanting to be a part of the change. And that's a beautiful thing. He was necessary. Even though I do not like to admit that, in my soul, he was necessary. And I know that. Because it woke us up. Some of us are paying attention to parts of the world we wouldn't have ever paid attention to, like Sudan and what's happening in Israel and Gaza. And a change shall come. Whether we know it or not, it is your thought, it is your energy, it is the manifestation of the good of all of the people coming together. That which you focus upon will manifest itself, whether it be good or bad. So I'm not focusing on anything else except what do we do to prepare for 2026? And we should all be thinking that way. All right, folks, I got 3 minutes. That was a good place for me to take a pause. I will be back later this evening at about 8-ish. I'm going to try to get here 7:30. I have a going away party that I have to attend, and I must attend. And so I'll be back, and then we're going to jump right in. I want to thank you all for joining me for my quick day shift. Go ahead and clock back in and wrap your lunch up. Go ahead and take your quick walk if you got an extra 30 minutes or whatever. I got a meeting to get to. But listen, 3 things that I always like to say before we end every single live. 1, love your life. It is the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one you might as well enjoy it. And lastly, breathe through every single moment. We'll see you all this evening. We'll see you around.
Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. Here to entertain, and we will help you live well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are welcome in the essence. This broadcast, Brownstone, the light is contagious. But you need go on and receive it for yourself. Just open it, exuberant, evolution, exciting. We standing on the foundation of expression. You might have seen, you might have been, or you could have gravitated. Our foundation, we want to create a space for all to collaborate and be liberated from eventually all over the globe. And we are extending a hand to those who are an extension from maybe platforms, dig into another stratosphere. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Welcome to Brownstone Worldwide. Tips, topics, and talk, we got it all. Brownstone Boozy and Breakfast with Fernell. message in a message. I can OD on my execution of excellency. And this as a man right now, and things aren't creepy.